And I just tried to open one of my iCloud files that had notes, just all the changes that I was going to make today, a big list of stuff that I was going to change. And somehow I managed to make the iCloud document completely disappear. And so therefore it's not on any of my devices and there's no backups of it because it was just like this notes file. It has been a crazy past 48 hours. It's now Sunday afternoon. I don't really remember too much from the last 2 days, but essentially I've just been editing away like crazy and not really doing anything else. And I have reached picture lock, which is fantastic. And so now I can send off the files to the sound design and mastering people and for the color grading, which Ryan's gonna do. So it's very, very good that I've done that. And there's some crazy feelings that go along with that, but I'll share some of those later. Right now I'm just gonna pack up. I'm gonna bike to my adventure van, bring the van here, and we're gonna head to Chilliwack where my parents are because I wanna see some family. Back in August, my phone fell out of my car without me knowing into a parking lot. By the time I had driven away and finally figured out I didn't have my phone, I drove back frantically looking for it, and I picked it up off the ground and it had been stepped on. So there's these dents all on the back. But the worst part about it is that the lens got shattered. And before then, I probably averaged taking about 20 to 30 photos a day with my phone. So not having this camera has been a huge change in my life. I finally got all the parts in, and today I'm gonna finally fix my phone. So I got it back together. The back camera is still like kind of fuzzy though, which I'm not really sure why that is, but I'm really stoked to have the FaceTime camera working again. It's like a chill time right now. Yeah, just trying not to be stressed out and just take a breather before I head into the battle zone of getting the premiere all ready and all that stuff. So, woo! Last Christmas, I got the coolest Christmas gift I've ever gotten. I got it from my fiance's family, and it's pretty rad. Let me show it to you. This little guy right here. This little flying tiny multi-rotor. This thing is awesome for two reasons. One, I've always wanted one of these. Well, that's not true. I've always wanted a remote control car. I always wanted a remote control car growing up, and anyone else who had like a remote control car, they were like the coolest people. I remember my neighbor had like a gas remote control car, and it was like the coolest thing ever, and I always wanted one. Never got one. That's okay. But reason number two, I knew this year I'd start flying multi-rotors with cameras on them to get awesome shots because, you know, quadcopters are amazing. So when I got this for Christmas, I was so stoked because it meant that I could start practicing my multi-rotor skills with this tiny little guy. And that's exactly what I did. So for like the first 4 months that I had this, I flew it probably 4 or 5 times a day, and you can fly it for about 15 minutes a time. So 4 or 5 times a day, every day for like 5 months. Just do the math. I flew this thing a ton, and you can tell from some of the tape, I definitely crashed it a lot too.